And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Guys, before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Again, sorry for the background, but currently on the road, so it's a needs must. I've got to try and put out a video with regards to the current situation. As I stated in yesterday's video in the reaction to Michael Beale being sacked, things usually happen when I'm away from home, away from the studio, but as I said, I've just got to adapt and overcome, and just so happens this is a very busy period for Glasgow Rangers, a football club, as we look for our next manager. Now, I would have went live and made it more of like a casual thing as we discussed the next manager, discussed the odds for who the next manager could be and what the future is for our football club. However, when you're in hotel rooms, the upload speed is absolutely horrendous, so I wouldn't be able to do a live stream. So look, just bear with this video, bear with the quality for now, and as I said, we'll be back to normal very, very soon. But as I stated, look, yesterday, of course, Michael Beale being sacked as Rangers manager. Again, as I said yesterday, something probably needed to be done, but it isn't the end of our problems. It's not like Michael Beale is the sole problem as to why we're playing so bad so far this season. I do think mostly it comes down to the actual playing squad. I don't think we've actually got quality within our team, and I do think that is the main issue at Rangers, to be perfectly honest with you. I do think our attacking players, we've got no wingers, we've got lack of quality at the back, but certainly in the attacking areas we can dominate games, we can create chances, but our attacking players can't put the ball into the back of the net, and these problems are going to carry on to continue until we get to the next transfer window, or we get a manager in who can get the best out of the players. But looking at the history of these attacking players, Cyril Das, as I'm discussing, Sam Lammers, they haven't really got a good goal to game ratio, so you know, I'm not going to hold my breath in terms of they're going to turn into wonder boys as soon as we get a new manager in. I do think our problems are there. However, we have got a huge gaping hole at the moment, and that's of course the managerial position, and that's what we're going to discuss today, go through. I think everybody knows on this channel who I want as the manager, and I do think, and I'll give my reasons again as to why, but that manager isn't the favourite. So we're going to be going through the bookies' favourites, we're going to be going through the managers currently linked with the vacant role, and yeah, we're just going to discuss the likelihood of it, and if we do, or if I personally, in my opinion, if I want them to be managers. So starting with Kevin Muscat, he is currently the bookies' favourite to take over as the next Rangers manager. Now, this one does intrigue me ever so slightly. Look, listen, Kevin Muscat is a Rangers player. He played for 1 year, I think, back in 2002, 2003, and as I said, played for one season before sort of spending the rest of his career down in the Championship, an Australian international, and has taken to management pretty well, starting out, of course, in his homeland. I mean, he's born in Crawley, but in his homeland, technically, in Australia, of course, working with Melbourne Victory, winning the Championship twice out there, of course, before, of course, going out to the J-League and working with Yokohama Marinos. Now, you can look at it and people will probably say, look, well, he's a manager in terms of, he's got a similar path to Ange Postecoglou. Funnily enough, like still fairly young, fairly experienced, but depending on what level you want to try and rate the Australian League and the J-League at. But as I said, it's probably not our position to judge on what level he has managed at. Well, because we were punched in the face when Ange Postecoglou came to Celtic, and it's pretty much exactly the same path, Australia to Japan. Obviously he was with the national team as well, but Kevin Muscat seems like he's the bookies' favourite. It's also being said that he is also alerted and said that he wants the job, or he would be interested in the job. It's not like Rangers have currently sounded him out as a manager, but apparently he as an individual has sounded out that apparently he would accept the job, which is great. I mean, I would like to date Margot Robbie, and I could show my interest in that, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. Look, can I see Kevin Muscat being the next Rangers manager? Probably, probably actually, just because they're probably looking at a different route, going down the same path as that Celtic did with Ange Postecoglou. Would I want him as the next manager? I don't know. I mean, I think as though my heart's set on Graham Potter. I don't, but it's a tough one. I mean, I can see why Rangers fans are maybe getting excited about the potential appointment, but I don't know. I just think there's better out there. But if Kevin Muscat was appointed, would I take it? Well, obviously I had no choice, but yeah, I would get behind it. I think I can't sit here and say that I watch Australian and Japanese football. I don't have a clue about it. So I'd probably just be looking at his honours list and go, oh, he's done well. I don't even know what his style of play is. So personally, I'm not going to give my judgment really on the guy himself, but he wouldn't be my first choice. A lot closer to home, the second favourite, of course, is Graham Potter. Now, this does seem like fairly unlikely now as time has gone on since the announcement was made. I did think this would be probably the main one that we probably would go out and get. But currently sitting at 5-1 as things stand. And now Graham Potter, I just think is a no-brainer. A lot of people were saying, that he's like a Bill. He's not. He's been at Östersunds. He did miracles down there, of course, in Sweden. And then, of course, has taken over Brighton and did really, really well as well. People will look at the black market we had at Chelsea. But I just think he's an interesting manager. He's a very, he's a sort of manager that doesn't really play a certain style. He kind of changes his starting 11, his formations as games go on. He likes to adapt and overcome depending on the opposition. I just think Graham Potter would be the best. My problem is for him, he does seem a bit soft and seem a bit, I don't like the way he handled the media whilst he's at Chelsea, and maybe the pressure on that side could probably get to him. However, I think he's learnt a massive lesson of being a massive pressure job in being at a massive club like Chelsea. You can only bounce back to that, and I think we are an attractive proposition for Graham Potter. You know, you're looking at, if you do well at Glasgow Rangers, you get a route back into the Premier League. Steven Gerrard did well at Rangers, he got a job at Aston Villa. Ange did well at Celtic, he got Tottenham Hotspur. Brendan Rodgers did well at Celtic, he got Leicester City. So there is a path, there is a tried and tested path that if you do well at Rangers or do well at Celtic, then you can get that opportunity to go to a bigger club. Gone are the days really where we're going to be having like a Walter Smith who's going to be staying for a long period of time, or even if you want to go back right into the early sort of 1900s, we're not going to get managers like that. It's all changed like that. They'll probably look at Rangers as a stepping stone to try and get a Premier League job, and that's the sort of attractive proposition that we could have with, of course, Graham Potter. Now, the other one that Frank de Boer apparently has recommended is Pascal Jansen. He currently is the manager at AZ Alkmaar, and apparently, again, he's came out and said that he could be interested in taking over at Glasgow Rangers. Again, this is another one that fans are sort of liking the current idea of. Again, fairly young as a manager, he's 50. He's currently worked at Young PSV back in 2015-17 and then took over at AZ Alkmaar. Of course, probably the fourth best side within Holland. If you're looking at it like stereotypically, it'd be probably at the moment it'd be Feyenoord, PSV, Ajax, and then probably AZ at the fourth. I remember in the COVID season they were joint top with Ajax before the season got suspended. Now this one could be a fairly interesting one as well. Currently holding down a position at AZ, and apparently, as I said, could be a potential interest for Rangers. Now, there is a lot of managers currently being linked with the club. To go through some of them, I do probably think that is my three that I would actually potentially look at, but as I said, there are other names obviously being touted. Kevin Muscat is obviously at the top, Graham Potter, then of course the AZ Alkmaar manager, then there's of course names like They're Pascal. You've got Marcelo Gallardo, again, an interesting one, a former River Plate manager. You've got sort of Gary McAllister. You've got Knutson, who obviously pops up last time when we were linked to a new manager, of course, at Bodo Glimt. But it doesn't seem that anyone's taken a punt on him. Scott Parker's another one that's been linked. I wouldn't want Scott Parker, certainly not Frank Lampard. I think he stunk the place out. Derek McInnes is another name that's being linked as well. I wouldn't want him. I mean, the list goes on. Even John Terry's there. There's even talk that Stephen Davis could get it full-time. I don't think that's the case. I do think if we're looking at a new manager, then I would be going Graham Potter first, then the boy Pascal Jansen from AZ Alkmaar, and then probably Kevin Muscat. That's just my top three. However, I know everyone has different thoughts and opinions with regards to who should be the next Rangers manager, and no one's right, no one's wrong, but honestly, I don't think I know enough. I think I know enough about these managers, about these names being touted with the club. I really don't. I think for me to sit here and say I understand Kevin Muscat, I don't watch J-League football. I'm not going to kid you on and say I do. I don't watch A-League football. I'm not going to kid you on to know I do. Bill's been sacked for 24 hours. I've hardly had enough time to research and look into the games and stuff like that and think, oh wow, he's a fantastic manager. I'm not sure. The only one I really do know personally is Graham Potter. So that's probably why I'm biasing and favouring towards him. Again, I don't know the AZ Alkmaar manager. So as time goes on, but this isn't my job to pick the manager, it's up to the board. But yeah, I'm interested in what the fans think. What do you guys think? Let me know down there in the comment section below. And as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And again, sorry for this background. It will be back to normal very, very soon. I'm on a stag do, and I'm still trying to get content out for the channel, guys. So thank you. Take care. Look after yourselves. Subscribe to the channel. Take care. Peace.